For me, I know that exercise is something that I have to do to be able to function. I've been working out at 5 a.m. for years and years and years, and I can't say I love it. I hated it back then. He instilled the importance of physical activity. 5 o'clock has just seemed to work no matter what stage in life I'm at. Work out, come home, drink my coffee, do my devotional, and then get on with my day.
Welcome back to the Moms Can Too podcast. I am your host, Reba Bean. Yes, I remembered to introduce myself this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening or watching, your support truly means the world to me and has helped keep me going. We've officially made it to the final episode of season 3. Now, this season has looked a little different. We haven't always stayed on schedule, but you've continued to show up, moms, and I sincerely appreciate it. Okay, moms, my next guest, she falls into the category of what I like to call a silent mentor. God was so kind to let our paths cross. She's a wife, a mom, a businesswoman, a CrossFit instructor, and most importantly, she loves Jesus. She's someone I genuinely look up to and aspire to grow more like with time. Moms, please help me welcome my friend, now yours, the inspiring Keziah Farrar. Hello, moms. Welcome back to the Moms Can Too podcast. Thank you all so much for taking the time to listen. There are so many other great podcasts out there. As always, I am truly, truly grateful for you taking the time to listen to us. My heart is truly overflowing with joy. Okay, I know I say this all the time, but I am really excited for you all to hear from my next guest. Please help me welcome Keziah.
Hey, guys.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'm so excited you're having me. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Okay, I have been wanting to have you on here for a while, but I've been so nervous to ask you.
Oh, how funny.
Whenever I asked Kate, we were talking over guests, who we have on the show. And I was like, I want to ask her, but I don't know if I should.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
Kayla was like, you should ask her. And I was like, okay, I'm going to text her and ask her.
Yeah. Well, I'm honored that you did.
Thanks
for having me.
Well, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Keziah Farrar, born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. I am a wife. My husband and I will be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary in November.
Yay.
So we are high school sweethearts. So that's a whole nother story. But together we have 3 kids. And then I coach CrossFit early mornings at a local gym here. And then also work in real estate. I've done that for pretty much my whole adult life. So we do that along with some other businesses that we run. But that's my main thing that I do. So
yeah. I had a guest on here, and one of the things that I admire about her is that she loves her city. She lives in Cedar Hill. And when I thought about her and you, I was like, if there's anybody I know who loves their city,
that is true. I do love Mansfield. So probably one of the biggest advocates of my community. I think a lot of it just has to do with I was born and raised there. I've actually never lived anywhere else, even in college. I went to Dallas Baptist University and I just commuted back and forth. And then my husband also is from Mansfield. So we both grew up here. And then we've raised our families here. We built our businesses. So I can't imagine having roots anywhere else. I love it. But I am always fascinated by people that move around and have lived in different places because I'm like, I wonder what that would be like. But
yeah.
So far, I don't know what that's like.
That would be me, because I grew up in Oak Cliff.
Okay.
And I lived in Grand Prairie for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because Caleb, my husband, he's from Grand Prairie. Like, he knows, like, it's the back of his hand.
Yeah.
And we moved this way, closer to Mansfield, because of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling him, I love the community feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so relaxed, and like, I mean, there new things are developing, but I was like, I just love. It's so funny. I'll post a picture of somebody from Mansfield on my Facebook, and I kid you not, it happens all the time. Somebody will say, I know that person.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is still, like, that's still happening. Like,
there's still a lot of OGs around.
I love that. But something I love about prepping these conversations is how often he'll put scriptures on my heart for my different guests. Mm-hmm. And the verse he gave me for you, it's actually on the back of a cup. It's Psalms 46 verse 5, and it says, God is within her. She will not fail. God will help her at break of day. And I'm not blowing smoke when I say this. One of the things that I've noticed about you, and when other moms watch this, they'll see that there's a certain strength that you carry. And it's not just physical strength, but it's a quiet, steady strength. And there's like so much noise that we hear. You know, you have social media.
Oh, yeah. It's a big
you
one.
have like media in general, and it's telling moms how to eat, how to work out, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. But I seem like for you just like stay in your own lane.
I really try to. And I mean, I'm not immune to social media and all the things and the self-doubt and Satan getting in my head and telling me I'm not good enough. So I've dealt with all of that. But you know, what I like to do is always just take it back to scripture, and I start my day every single day. Well, I started at the gym, and then when I get home, I drink my coffee and open the word. And so that really, when people are like, I don't know how you do what you do, and we've gone through some really challenging times in our life, that's really there. I'm not doing anything special except for making sure that that's how I'm starting my day every day. I don't know how people walk through their life without Jesus. I mean, I just don't. And so it breaks my heart when I talk to people and they're trying to do all of this stuff on their own. I am not that strong. No, I'm a pretty strong person, but I'm not. It's not me. So that's what I always encourage, you know, moms that are really struggling is, you know, have a daily devotion. Even if you don't know what to say, just open your heart to listen to Jesus. Mm-hmm. You know, ask God for the things that you need and open your eyes. And so for me, that's what gets me through every day.
Yeah. I was with some friends the other day. We were running and we were talking about this. And I said, my friend Becky, she said, before I work out, before I do anything, because I don't want anything else filtering my mind, I read the Bible first and then I go, you know, work out. Because like you, she said, I can't do this without him. She's like, my workouts suck, my days suck if I do it backwards, you know, at the end of the day, because it's just like, okay, you're giving God, you know, your leftovers. Right. And so, I need, like you, I need him to get me through. Yeah. It's like, whenever I go for a run, they laugh at me because I take a shower first.
I think you've told me that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, why do you do that?
Which that makes me laugh too.
But it wakes me up because I can't, like, I've tried it before and those miles suck. And if I go do any workout and I look at social media first, I'm thinking about all the crap that I looked at instead of, you know, focusing on my workout. But what gives you the strength to keep going? Because I know you're a busy person. What gives you the strength to keep going when you do have all of this on your plate?
Well, for me, exercising and physical activity and just being healthy really have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I kind of jokingly attribute it to my elementary school PE teacher, Mr. Prince. He was a avid runner. And so he kind of instilled that, from elementary school. He encouraged us that was the first time I had ever ran in the Cowtown. I think in elementary, it was I think I did a 5K, maybe a 10K. But we had to be able to run a mile in under 8 minutes in elementary school. If we didn't, we got, points taken off. And so I hated it back then. I mean, I remember thinking, why is he making us run? We'd have to run this circle. I mean, I still imagine it, but he instilled the importance of physical activity. We did it, from what I remember, every single day in PE class. And so that's really what the foundation I think of for my love for being active. And then it kind of just carried over, into high school. Would go up to the gym with friends, do all the step classes
Yeah.
and all the things. And then it's just always been something that I've done. There have been times where I've taken time off.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell a difference when I do, just in just how I feel. I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
For me, I know that exercise is something that I have to do to be able to function. And so it's really just kind of always been a priority to me. When I started having kids and working full time, I realized very quickly if I did not do my exercise first thing in the morning, then it probably wasn't going to happen. And so I've been working out at 5 a.m. for years and years and years. And I can't say I love it. I mean, I don't have some magical power. I'm like, oh, it's 4:00. I'm so excited to jump out of bed.
Yeah.
I still every morning I'm like, oh, it's already going off. But for me, even now that my kids are older, I've got one in college. I have one that's 19. He's moved out. So I only have one daughter left at home. She's 16.
Yeah.
So she really doesn't need me like she used to.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily have to work out that early in the morning anymore. But I'm in such a routine of doing it. And I just realize if I don't do it first thing in the morning, I don't feel like it starts my day off right. If I try to go to a 9:00 class, my phone's ringing. I'm just so distracted. And so for me, I'd found, 5:00, nobody really needs me at 5:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And if they do, they can probably wait. And so that's just the way I like to start off my day. Work out, come home, drink my coffee, do my devotional, and then get on with my day.
That's good.
So that's just the schedule that's worked for me. And, I often tell people that are like, I just don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do have time. You have to make the time to do
Yeah.
it. And so, that for me, it's 5:00 in the morning. I found that most people don't have anything else to do at 5:00 in the morning except sleep. And so it's just kind of making that decision, like, is it worth it to you to get this done and take care of yourself first thing so you don't have things that pop up later in the day? And so it's kind of one of those just decisions that I tell people, like, you got to be honest with yourself. We're all busy. We all have lots of things going on.
Yeah.
And so for me, health and exercise it's a priority to me.
I was working out to a workout video the other day, and the trainer said, whenever we get busy, the first thing on the chopping block
it is every time.
it's our health. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time to cook or just go out to eat.
Yep.
I don't have time to work out, so I'll skip this workout.
Right.
But you said it, everybody's busy.
Yeah. And everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. And, I've been a stay-at-home mom before, and I worked full-time and had way too much on my plate. And still, it's always just been a priority to me. And 5:00 has just seemed to work no matter what stage in life I'm at.
So you continued to work out even when you had your children when they
I
were
did. Yeah. So I worked out in high school just doing, like go to the local gym. We do step classes, get on the stair climber. And then kind of carried that through my young 20. I got married when I was 20, so I was pretty young. Was an avid runner. That's really what I kind of fell into, was running. So I did a lot of half marathons, did a full marathon, but I just loved running. I've ran all over Mansfield. And so that was kind of thing that, like we were talking about earlier, I found myself injured all the time because I wasn't doing really any sort of strength training. I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't feel like I was knowledgeable enough to do it. And so I just kind of stuck with it, with running at the time.
Yeah.
When the boys or my first one was born, I started attending a boot camp class. And so that was at 5:00 in the morning. And so that's kind of what initially introduced me into some sort of strength training. It was just some dumbbells and that. And then he initially opened up a CrossFit gym a few years later. And so that's how I was introduced to CrossFit about 14 or 15 years ago. Yeah.
So I feel like you never dealt with like the mom guilt of like working out.
Yeah. There was a time that I did. So, I had my two boys and I was doing boot camp and doing all the things, and I was kind of in a good routine. And at the time I had gone back to work. And so we were figuring all that out. And then my daughter, my youngest, we actually adopted her. And so we got her out of from foster care, the state of Texas. And so at the time we were fostering her, and it kind of just flipped my entire life upside down. It was a really interesting dynamic because I felt like with the boys, I'm like, I'm just learning as I'm going. But there was something about being in the care of somebody else's child that put a whole new pressure on me.
Yeah.
and I felt like I had to be perfect, and could never mess up, and I had to give her all of my attention because I already knew what she had been through, and I didn't want something to happen to her again.
Yeah.
And so that was just a really challenging time in my life, where, we were doing something that on the outside, everybody's like, oh, y'all are so amazing and this is so great. And on the inside, I'm like, I'm losing myself, and I felt so lonely. And so my love for exercise at the time had it had definitely taken a back seat. And so at that point in my life, and I've never been a heavy drinker ever.
Yeah.
I never drank at home. But I started having really bad anxiety. Just, I don't know what it was. I think it was just a whole new dynamic.
Yeah.
So I'd have a glass of wine at night, and then that turned into 2 nights a week, and then 3 nights a week. And so I found over that year that I was drinking way more than I had ever intended to, having the worst anxiety I have ever had, was missing workouts consistently. Ended up getting on anti-anxiety medication because I think the drinking was making it worse. And so I don't know what happened. I just, at some point I was like, enough is enough. Like, I can't do this. This isn't who I am. What have I done?
Yeah.
And so I immediately got back on my schedule, got off the medication, quit drinking. And and hear me when I say I don't have a problem with anybody drinking. I occasionally will have a drink or something. It was just not, I really had to examine what I was doing at that point in my life. And it was alcohol serving a purpose that was making me the person I wanted to be. And it absolutely wasn't. It was doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So I just had to re-examine, my relationship with that at the time. And I pretty quickly got out of that. And as soon as I got back into my workout schedule consistently, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm back. And so that was very eye-opening to me, how quickly you can fall off, but how easily, if you just consistently show up again, you can get it back. And so that was a really interesting learning experience for me because I hadn't really dealt with that before. And so when I was talking to other people at the time, I'm like, how do you not exercise? Like, how do you just stop working out? I don't understand. And then, it happened to me. So, I did deal with a lot of mom guilt during that season of my life.
Yeah.
But looking back and just that year afterwards, I almost felt guilty for letting myself get to that point, because then I realized I'm not being the best mom I can be for my kids. I'm definitely not excelling at work like I should be. I'm not being a good wife. And so really exercise for me has always kind of been a foundation to be a better version of myself in all those different aspects of my life. And so, I know God puts us through different seasons to see things. And I'm glad that my eyes were opened in that season and realized what didn't work for me and how important exercise truly is for me in my life.
You are speaking to me like, I'm just like, okay, I guess it's a reminder and an encouragement, because I have those days where I'm like, I don't feel like it. And I make the excuse to not do it. I'm like, oh, well, I woke up too late and Ava needs all of my attention today. But like you said, now I'm listening to you, like, now I feel guilty because I didn't.
I'm not trying to make
No. No, it's not like it's conviction.
An awareness.
Yeah, an awareness. Because I am better after I work out. Like, I'm laughing because when I used to come up from CrossFit, Caleb would be leaving to work, and I would be like at 10, and I would be like, "Hey," and he's waking up.
Yeah.
But I'm okay now. I've put in the work. My body, I guess, all the happy endorphins are moving. But you are a trainer. You're still training at CrossFit.
I am.
What have been some of the positive experiences you've witnessed with like different moms in their seasons, like when they prioritize their health? Like if they come in and they're like starting and they're
scared, nervous. That's really the only reason that I coach.
Wow.
Because I love seeing the transformation, and it's not even the physical transformation; it's the confidence that it builds in people. It's so awesome to see somebody walk in, and they're typically anybody that starts is scared to death. They think we're all CrossFit Games athletes, and that's how we all exercise. And, I tell people the majority of people scale everything. Everything's scalable. And so it's so exciting to see somebody get a new skill or lift a weight that they've never lifted before, or, jump up on the box for the first time or get their first pull up. And as exciting as it is seeing that in the gym, I know that's going to carry over into their regular life because it I've seen it in my own life. And so that's what I know is the things that they're learning in CrossFit, while, they're not going to have to do a pull up in everyday life. I know they walked into that gym knowing that they never thought that they'd be able to do that. And if they know they can do it now, then what else are you capable of, in a boardroom, at work, or, witnessing to somebody at the grocery store, or it just builds a confidence. And I watch people walk into the gym different when they've been there for a little while. It's amazing. I don't know exactly the right words until you just see it happen. But it's 100% for me is the confidence it builds in people.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And so I just encourage people, start something. If it's for my love is CrossFit, I still love to run. But just do something active. Push yourself. You are so much more capable of doing things than you think you are. You just have to allow yourself to try them. So I love it. It never gets old. It never gets old.
I like you said it carries over. So when I was training for my marathon, I text you one day because I think, I don't remember how many miles I was supposed to do that day, but I stopped 2 miles short because I was just like over it, and I was on the treadmill. And so that you can get over it really fast when you're on the doing like long distance. And you said, you asked me what I listened to, and I told you, and you said, I don't listen to that. I listen to worship music. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to finish. I think it was 2 miles. I said, I'm going to listen to worship music in my last 2 miles. I kid you not. Whenever I am like stressed out or I need to do something where anything that is like beyond me, and I know that I have to rely on God, I play worship music.
So do I.
And I was like, Keziah said, and it works.
It does. Yeah. So for me, like when I coach, I don't have praise and worship music on because most people don't. That's just not what they want to work out. They want to work out to fast-paced music, and that's totally fine. I mean, I pretty much like anything. But for me, when I work out, either I have a garage gym at home. If I'm working out there, if I'm running, I only listen to praise and worship music. So even if everybody leaves the gym and then I do the workout, I change the station.
Yeah.
So just for me, and I've shared this with so many people, working out is definitely very spiritual for me. Like when I go running, it's probably the closest I ever feel to God. I feel like my mind is not cluttered with picking up my phone and checking it or my to-do list. It's truly a time where I can turn on that music and then my heart just opens up. And I mean, I cry on runs. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a very spiritual moment for me. And I have talked to several other runners over the years that are like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just me too. And I'm like, no, and I don't know if I had told you this story or not. I've shared it with a few people because, there have been definitely seasons in our life that have been challenging. So I previously served on the school board here in Mansfield. And so there was just a time that it was a really rough time, not for the district, but just some stuff. We were updating some policies and stuff. And there were parents that were upset. And serving on a school board is very challenging in its own right because you're making decisions for other people's children. And so the weight of that, I did not take lightly. I overthought every single thing we did. I prayed about every decision we made because I knew the weight of, those 36,000 students weighed very heavy on me. And so it was just a very trying time. And I was having a little pity party and, social media, I probably shouldn't have been on it at the time, but I was reading comments and people were just ripping us apart, just some of us. And me, I was included in that. And so I was just like, I'm going for a run. Like, I just got to clear my head. And so I went for a run, turned on my praise and worship music, and I just start praying, like, God, I've prayed about this. I feel like we're making the right decision. Like, just lead me, the direction. I don't remember whatever. I was just, crying out to God, like, why? And honestly, I was saying, why me? Like, why am I being dragged through the mud? And I kid you not, I vividly turn the corner on Matlock and see Jesus hanging on the cross, and he was beaten and bruised and battered. Wow. And immediately I just start bawling, and I'm like, okay, if God can do that for our sins, then I can easily take the backlash on social media. And so it's moments like those that I definitely don't take for granted because, had I gone on that run and turned on that music, would I have been in the right mind frame to be able to see that? Probably not, because I'd have still been at home having a pity party for myself. So for me, it's just like a very cleansing experience. And so that's another aspect and benefit that I get from especially running. It's just a moment where I'm truly praying the entire time and worshiping. So I always
good.
encourage people if they're stuck running and they're just like, oh, I hate it. And it's just like mile after mile.
Yeah.
I'm like, change your music and see if that helps you. Because I've encouraged a lot of people to do that because it totally changes the dynamic of your run.
You're right. So during my marathon, I needed like hype music to get me started. And actually, that's not true. I'm sorry. The first few miles, I didn't have anything on because we were in the Trinity Trails, and it's kind of sketchy out there at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to be aware of my surroundings. And then as the sun came up, and then as the miles became, I think mile 18, my friend, she makes worship music. And so I put her music on while I was running, and I was just like, I was smiling even though I was in pain.
Yeah.
But it does change your mood because I feel like there's this runner. I don't know if he still runs, but he was a runner. His name is Tyler Moon.
Okay.
And he had a heart attack while he was running.
Oh, wow.
He's alive, but he talked about how he feels like the Lord used that to change his perspective because it was all about him. And he realized that it wasn't like after that, it was like, running is not all about me. He's going to use this story to like minister to other people. Right. And so you saying this right now, I'm kind of like, I'm just like, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Because it's just like so heavy. It's so good. But even like, when I went back to running after I had my daughter, I was running at Catherine Rose, and it was a Sunday. I will never forget this, and I've told this story many times, but I just started crying. I'm not a crier. And I was just
not
like,
really either.
Okay,
it's so weird.
And so I was like, why am I crying? Yeah. Like, what is this? But it was, amongst other things, it was just like a relief. Like the Lord is like, I'm here with you. Yeah. I'm doing this with you. So every time I do go for a run, I'm like, and I've said this before, I always invite Jesus on my runs. When I would go do CrossFit, I was like, come work out with us. Let's have fun, because I would prefer to be running instead of doing CrossFit, because strength training just isn't my thing. Yeah. But thanks to you, I have become a little bit more confident and of other people.
100%.
Other people. But I know for me, especially when I got back into running, particularly those solo runs, there's something about that quiet space with no distractions when I feel closest to God. And so for like you in this discipline of being active and taking care of your health, has it brought you closer to him or seen him in a different way? Like, has he shown you himself differently?
Yes. I mean, I can't say I always started out my runs or even thought of my runs that way. This is definitely, it's been the combination of several years of me getting to this place. So I mean, for you to tell me that guy said he used that run, I truly had the same feeling that day that I literally saw Jesus hanging on the cross and thought, how do we think our life is so hard and terrible and care what other people have to say when Jesus literally walked this earth and was perfect and people persecuted him? I mean, that moment was so impactful and life-changing to me. And it was just like an ordinary Tuesday. I mean, I don't even know what day it was. It was just a random day that I decided to do that. And so I think if we can open our hearts and minds to just listen to him, and for me, that's why running is so meaningful, and that time to me is so sacred, because there's no other time that I'm that quiet. I mean, I'm constantly like going and overscheduled, and my phone's constantly dinging. And so I don't take my phones on my run. I have my AirPods and it's connected to my watch. Okay. So, if I had an emergency or something, I could still contact people. But I really use that time because it has literally changed my life, especially in the last few years when we are walking through some really hard seasons. So yes, I mean, that God has really, really used that time for me to rely on him and realize, oh, he is always with me. He is still here even in those hard seasons.
The treadmill, I call that like my prayer closet, because I feel like that's where a lot of my where he like reveals a lot of things to me. And I come from an artsy family, and so the creative side of me start like I'll just be running like focused in my mile, whatever mile it is, and then this thought would come, and I'm like, that did not come from me.
And then I'm like, I need a notepad.
Yes,
I do that all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like such a good thought, and I'm like, I need to write it down.
Right.
I know.
He's so kind though, because he reminds you after your run. But You've always been so encouraging. And one of the things that I loved about CrossFit, or I still love about the community, well, one thing I love about CrossFit is the community.
Yeah.
And it kept me coming back, as like I said,
Mm-hmm.
running is my thing,
Yeah.
strength training. In your experience, how has accountability, how have you seen accountability be important for women?
Well, I think that's, like you've said, for CrossFit, it's a huge component of why that community is so strong. I think that women don't like to do things by themselves. I
Yeah.
mean, heck, we can barely even go to the bathroom by
Right.
ourselves, right?
It's so true.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think if you can find a like-minded friend that is walking through something very similar, or same stage in your life, or even somebody that can share some wisdom for you, even in just that hour that you're at the gym, is so impactful. But it's also, people are waiting at the gym for you. And so just that accountability of knowing, oh, okay, Keziah knows that I told her I was going to be at the gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that plays a huge role in it. And so I think for most women in particular, is they want to have a good friend that they've got something in common with. And if that's exercising, having a walking partner, I mean, I go walk all the time. It's nice to have someone. And then at that same time, you're sharing your life story with them. You're comparing kids, like, what would you do?
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of that kind of going on just in the chitter chatter amongst class. It's not just, we're here, stay focused, look at me. Like it is truly, people are having conversations, and we truly are, like, it's a small little family when we're in there, because we know about each other's kids. We know what we're doing at the weekend. How was your trip last week? And so for me, that is a huge aspect of it. I mean, that's what I love about CrossFit, or running clubs, or boot camps, or whatever works for you. There's so many different opportunities. And I think a lot of times what will happen is people or women will go to the gym and it's very overwhelming. Like, okay, do I get on the treadmill? Do I do it on the stair climber? How long am I supposed to go?
Yes.
Should I only lift my upper body today? And then it's so overwhelming, and there's nobody to tell you what to do unless you're paying hundreds of dollars for a trainer.
Yeah.
And then they just quit because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's very normal. I walk into a gym, like a regular gym, and I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I mean, it's a little daunting. So I encourage people all the time, either find a buddy that you can show up to the gym with, or get involved in an organized class that literally all you have to do is show up. That's the hardest part of it, is getting there. Once you get there, you'll have an instructor that will literally walk you through everything. And then you'll meet some pretty awesome people while you're there. So
I met you.
Yeah.
I remember the day so well. I do, because I don't know. I can't remember if I told you, when I walked in, I was like, there is something different about this one, because it was 5:00 in the morning. So I'm still trying.
Like, what am I? Your body's still like, what am I doing?
Right. Yeah. But there was just like this. There's this glow around you, and now you're sitting at my table, and
That's
I'm
so awesome.
happy. So yes,
that's amazing.
You're right. Like the community, the hard thing is getting up.
It is.
I would text some of the girls the night before, and I would be like, okay, I'm going, unless my daughter does not sleep.
Yeah,
then I'll be there.
Yeah,
but my thing is, if I tell you I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it. Because even with running on the treadmill, I have a friend, we both don't like summer running. And so,
it's the worst.
It's so gross.
I don't
outside.
like it. It is. You just are like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're trying to, because they say summer running, or like, I forget the phrase, but it's something to the effect of, if you run in the summer, you'll have a better pace in the fall and winter.
Yeah. As the temperature goes down, your pace will go up.
So we're trying to force ourselves to run outside. So she'll be like, okay, Reba, I'm going running at this place. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go running in the evening, because in the morning time is my husband at work. So I'm like, I'm going to run in the evening. Like last night, I was like, okay, I'm going to go running outside. And I did, and it was brutal, but
you did it.
Yes. And I'm like, I better have like a 7-minute pace.
Yeah. By the end of this year.
Yes. I can say with sincerity, when you're training or coaching, your confidence in like your athletes and knowing we can do it, sometimes it makes me nervous.
When I'm like, go grab another 10-pound weight.
And I'm like looking at you like, what?
Yeah.
But what would you say to the mom who was scared to try, like myself? Because I was always nervous when you were like, add more weight. You could add more weight. Like, and whether it's taking the first step to working out or returning to being active.
Start somewhere. So start walking. I walk every single day. I mean, I do some pretty extreme stuff, but walking is still a foundation. That's exactly what I did after I had both of my boys. Before I could go back to the gym, I just walked. And so if you're literally doing nothing, do something. I mean, people underestimate the power of walking, but really that is just that's a foundation to be like, okay, now I'm in the routine of this. Now I can add something else. But the reality is, find either a good coach or an accountability partner, or like I said, an organized group that will coach, that will walk you through what you need to do. I think the majority of people that are wanting to start out, just like I said, go to the gym and they're just overwhelmed and they don't know what to do and they quit. And so for me, finding those boot camps or CrossFit or whatever it is, a running group or whatever, they will literally walk you through every single thing that you need to do, and everything can be scaled. I mean, literally any movement can be scaled to anything. And so I think that's what worries people, is they feel like, okay, I'm going to walk into this class and they're all going to be able to do all this stuff. I tell people, when I started CrossFit, I could not lift a 35-pound bar over my head. That's how weak I was. My endurance was incredible.
Yeah.
I could not lift 35 pounds over my head. And so when I see people struggling, they're like, oh my God, I'm like, I couldn't do it either.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it either. And you would, that was 15 years ago.
Okay.
And so it has taken 15 years of consistently showing up and strength training and working on weaknesses. So it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's something that if you're going to commit to being active and healthy, you're going to have to do it for the rest of your life. I mean, it's just, it's a reality. And so for me, I think, okay, do I want to be the best wife? Yeah, I definitely want to be the best wife to my husband. And, once our kids are out of the house and we retire, I want to be able to go and do things. I don't want to be sitting in a nursing home. That's not the life that I want to live.
Right.
When your kids are smaller, do you want to be able to go and run on the soccer field with them and go to practice? And that's the kind of mom I wanted to be. And so it wasn't a quick fix to get in shape for a beach trip or something. It was, this is the life that I want to be able to live. And so in order to do that, you're going to have to consistently show up. And I'm not talking every single day, but consistently show up for the rest of your life. And so it doesn't have to be anything hardcore, but you have to commit to taking that first step and allowing people to teach you and push you. So as a coach, I can sometimes, they're like, oh,
yes.
And I'm like, I know you don't want to, but you can. And that's what you're here for, is for me to push you. And so put a little extra weight on. And then if you get in the middle of the workout and it's just too much, we'll take some weight off. But at least you've gotten a few reps with that extra 10 pounds or whatever. And so I have found over the years of just exercising and coaching and all this stuff that if people have somebody to hold them accountable, they'll stick with it longer.
That was definitely me. Like, I was nervous walking into CrossFit because you see everything on social media and these people are like amazing and they're like doing all these crazy pull-ups but
it's not, in reality, that's not really what, I mean, no, it's just average everyday people.
Yeah. And I can definitely scale. I can definitely say you all let us scale.
Yes.
Like, we don't have to try and do what you're doing.
And I don't want people in my classes hurt. And so I'll never push them to do something unreasonable, because I want them to come back the next day and then the next day. But I'll tell you, I don't think it's unusual to be nervous. I sometimes, when I'm out of town, will drop into another CrossFit gym, and I'm nervous every time I walk into a different gym.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? And I'm like, it's just a different environment. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they all going to be CrossFit athletes?
Yeah.
And look at me like, why are you here? So I struggle with that same insecurity of, oh gosh, I wonder who's going to be in here. But I'm always glad when I go, because it's still, that community is consistent across the board. So just find a group that works for you. And, and it may take a few times. It may take a few different types of exercise to really find what you love. But I think you're not going to love going every single day. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, there's going to be days that you're just going to be like, I don't want to go. But find something that you truly enjoy doing. And I think that will help at least motivate you to get you there. Find people you enjoy hanging out with.
Yeah.
Because that's half of it, is just, the chatting back and forth in the community. So that's what I encourage people to do, is just take that first step. You don't have to, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to commit to the long haul. But I promise, if you consistently stack all of those wins in the long run, you're going to look back in a year and be so thankful that you started.
Yeah. Well, Keziah, thank you so much.
welcome.
I could just keep
I know,
asking
you're
you,
so easy to talk to.
talking.
Yeah.
But before you leave, I always ask my guests like just random questions.
Okay.
So, what is your least favorite weightlifting movement?
Oh, snatch for sure.
Okay.
It's just very complex.
Yeah.
It's overhead. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. I can't lift very much weight. So that's probably my least for sure.
Mine was the clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk. Yeah. I like that one.
Do you?
I feel a little more in control.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind anything going over my head, but the snatch, like you said, I'm always just like,
You're just like, hope I catch you in the right position. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite cheat meal?
Cheat meal. Chips and queso for sure.
Why did I know this? When I was typing this out, I was like, she's going to say chips and salsa or chips and queso.
All of it. All of it. I love chips salsa. If you ask my sisters growing up, every day when I got home from school, my mom would buy like a big bag of tortilla chips from Sam's and paste pecani sauce like in the big thing. And they were like, every day you ate chips and salsa after school.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
I know what you're talking about.
Every day. That was my favorite food.
Like
and I still love chips and salsa and queso. So.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, okay, what's your favorite holiday?
I love Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I love it because the family gets together, but I feel like there's no pressure other than the meal. Like Christmas, it's like there's so many activities going on, and then you got to get the perfect present. And then like, I don't know. It's just, I love Thanksgiving where we can sit around a table together as family, pray, talk about all the things we're thankful for and just enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
I think there's no other strings attached like there are Christmas. And I love Christmas too, but it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I was, last year, I was talking to a friend and I was like, because Christmas Day, I've kind of made a tradition, I think the past 3 years, where on Christmas Day, we do nothing. Because everything leading up to Christmas, it's just like boom, 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 boom. And then marathon training is like you do the marathon in like maybe 2 weeks before Christmas. And so all of that too. And so, because we both come from large families. And so, and so it's just like, okay, we're going to do this with, and I think his family has like multiple, my Caleb's family has like multiple Christmases. And so it's just like, we have to do all of that and on top of life, work and everything. So on Christmas Day, I'm like, we're not doing anything.
Good for you.
Staying in our PJs and watching all the Christmas movies. Because like you said, there's just so much pressure.
I know.
But I love Thanksgiving, Christmas. Those are like my...
just that whole holiday season.
Just because I love the weather too.
Oh, same.
Have you ever competed in any CrossFit games?
No, I've done a few CrossFit competitions, just local ones. I mean, probably the last one's been 5 or 7 years ago. It's not really my thing anymore, but it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I've probably done maybe 4 or 5 over the years, but I did learn that I don't really like people watching me work out. So when you're there and everyone's focused on you, and again, it's just way too much pressure. I just want to have fun and,
I remember doing one of the CrossFit,
the open workouts?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just like working out.
Yeah. Okay.
And, like if there's a certain amount of group of people left, for like, come on, guys. Let's cheer
and
them
everybody's,
on.
yes.
I hated that.
I know. That's what a whole CrossFit competition is like. They're like watching you and yelling. And it's, I mean, the energy's amazing. But it was a lot. So.
There's a lot of things that I don't mind people looking at me to do, but
that's
not working.
One of them. I know. I know.
But again, thank you so much.
You're
I really
welcome.
enjoyed
It was a lot of
this.
fun.
And I know many women and moms are going to watch this. And this is our last episode.
Oh, awesome.
Your episode 15. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm just truly thankful that our paths crossed.
Me too.
Years ago. So it's been such a pleasure to get to know.
You too.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, moms, for watching. And bye.
Bye.